Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Cookie. Huge thanks to Cookie and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Cookie reached out asking for a budget deck built around Will's Scion of Peace, and I was more than happy to build it for him. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Will's Scion of Peace is a 3-mana 2/4 legendary human wizard with vigilance. We may tap him. If we do, spells we cast this turn cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of life we gain. But this only applies to white and or blue spells. We can also only activate this ability as a sorcery. So we want some life gain in our deck, and we want it to be consistent. We also want some big spells. Spells that would normally be a bit too expensive for Commander can be cast for cheap with Will's ability. Now, we could build a turns deck, but Cookie requested that the deck stay under $200, and most turn spells are pretty expensive, both in terms of mana and dollars. So instead, we'll be building this as a fun value deck, one that would more appeal to the Timmy player in all of us. What was that, gentle viewer? You wanted an Azorius deck that's high power and vicious? Well, come back tomorrow. I may have just the thing for you. As I was saying, this deck is a bit more down to earth and meant to be just a fun romp. But we'll need more than life gain and high mana spells to build a functional Commander deck. And for that, we turn to our handy dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. As I'm sure you've heard by now, this channel is sponsored by Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is made famous by their boulders, solid, reliable, and affordable deck boxes. Boulders are now available in solid colors, like this beautiful petrol one seen here. Find out if your local game store carries the new Ultimate Guard solid color boulders, or click on the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. One more thing before we get started. I've been streaming Final Fantasy XIV over on my other channel, Musings by Danon. If you want to pop in and ask some questions, chat about Commander, or just hang out, you're more than welcome to. For right now, the schedule is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays in the evening. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Hallowed Fountain, Sea of Clouds, Deserted Beach, Glacial Fortress, Glacial Floodplain, Idyllic Beachfront, Prairie Stream, Adarkar Wastes, Hengegate Pathway, Temple of Enlightenment, Razortide Bridge, Azorius Guildgate, Azorius Chancery, Tranquil Cove, Sajiri Refuge, Skybridge Towers, Meandering River, Coastal Tower, Myriad Landscape, Scavenger Grounds, 7 Plains, and 7 islands make up our land base. Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Progress, Azorius Signet, Marble Diamond, Sky Diamond, Mind Stone, Pristine Talisman, Thought Vessel, Decanter of Endless Water, Chromatic Lantern, Wayfarer's Bauble, Solemn Simulacrum, and Peregrine Drake help us to cast our spells and stay ahead of the curve. Sun Titan, Muldrifter, Dig Through Time, Treasure Cruise, Seagate Restoration, Karmic Guide, Nezahal Primal Tide, Emeria Shepherd, Court of Ardenvale, Sphinx's Revelation, Drogskull Reaver, Pull from Tomorrow, Revitalize, Cloudblazer, Dream Trawler, Aethersworn Sphinx, Sphinx's Insight, Emergency Powers, Precognitive Perception, One with the Multiverse, and Stroke of Genius all help us to dig through our deck and keep our hands full. Hullbreaker Horror, Mystic Confluence, Angel of the Ruins, Moment of Valor, Heliod's Intervention, Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, Light of Hope, Unbreakable Formation, Negate, Counterspell, Dovin's Veto, Commit Memory, Absorb, and Disenchant all help us to keep our opponents in line. Austere Command and Farewell help us to reset the board as needed. Approach of the Second Sun, Deadeye Navigator, Zatalpa Primal Dawn, Sunscorch Regent, True Conviction, Rock's Faithmender, Soul Warden, Storm Herd, Finale of Glory, and Goldforged Thopteryx make up the core of our deck, while Aetherflux Reservoir and Alhammarret's Archive help to support our plan. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our tech list. 52 mana sources split between 36 lands, 14 pieces of ramp, 1 MDFC, and our commander. 22 pieces of card advantage, 15 pieces of interaction, 2 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Farewell, Scavenger Grounds, Commit Memory, and Emergency Powers, 1 Sudden I Win card in Approach of the Second Sun. But honestly, that card is here more to scare our opponents than anything else. My favorite way to win with this deck is to attach Deadeye Navigator to Peregrine Drake, gain infinite mana, then use Stroke of Genius to deck our opponents. We've also got the combo of Peregrine Drake and Hullbreaker Horror. So long as we've got a tapped will, we can generate infinite mana this way as well. But what I really want to see happen is a win with a giant finale of glory. Nothing is better than winning the game with a heavenly host of angels smashing our opponents into Armageddon. Are you building a Will Scion of Peace deck? What about a deck that's built around his sister, Rowan Scion of War? What's your secret deck tech? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alex, Daniel, Steve, Alex, Cookie, Borgie, Jake, Exiled Rogue, Manassas, Nazwin, Pedro, and Aranor. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.